Hello and welcome to The Reluctant Chef. My name is Bob, and here in the mid-Atlantic states of North America, we are approaching the winter solstice. It's the perfect time of year for those festivals and holidays that we enjoy celebrating. And the first that we're going to prepare for here in the Reluctant Chef kitchen is Hanukkah. Now, because this is a Jewish holiday, you can count on it. There's lots of good food involved. And one of the traditional foods is the latke, or commonly known among the rest of us as the potato pancake. Latkes can be made with all kinds of variations. You can make them with sweet potatoes, you can make them with zucchini. I'm told that you can even make them with frozen or refrigerated hashed brown potatoes if you want to, or must. But the catch is, while the ingredients are very simple, it can be kind of a production. So, being the Reluctant Chef, I'm not about to go to that much trouble because I happen to know that we can make perfectly good latkes from a box. And that's what I'm going to make today. So, literally, all we're going to need if we're making it from a mix is, of course, the mix itself. You can find latke mix in the kosher section of most any grocery store. We're going to need 1 egg, 1 cup of water, and that's the entirety of the ingredients. We're going to need 3/4 to a cup of oil to fry the latkes in. I'm going to use vegetable oil mainly because I can heat it hotter than I can heat the olive oil. I've done it both ways and the taste came out the same. I have here a platter that I'm going to keep the latkes warm on and then serve on. And then of course, my mixing bowl and whisk to stir up the batter with. You can use a fork. The only other things I'm going to need here, of course, is a frying pan to fry the latkes in. We're frying them in oil, and there will be a little excess oil in the latkes when I pull them out of the pan. So my setup here is I've just taken a cooling rack and I put a layer of wax paper over it so that if any oil leaks through, the wax paper catches it, and a couple folded over paper towels to soak up any excess oil. And then the utensils that I'm going to need. First step now is actually to preheat the oven to 200 degrees. And the reason I'm preheating the oven is because I've got this platter that I'm going to serve the latkes on. I want it warmed. And the recipe that I'm going to make is going to yield somewhere between 18 and 20 latkes. But I'm only going to be able to fry 5 or 6 of them at a time so they don't crowd each other in the pan. So as I take them out of the pan, I'm going to drain them, but then what I want to do is keep them warm until they're all finished and they're ready to serve. So for that reason, I'm going to put the platter in the oven. So now the next step is actually to assemble the batter. Very straightforward. First thing is our egg. There we go. And then all we're going to do basically is break up the yolk and combine the yolk and the white. We don't need to beat it terribly briskly, just get it all combined. Then we will stir in our cup of cool water. And then, again, we're just blending it. Okay, it doesn't need to be beaten, just fully blended. And then that just leaves the mix itself. Every brand of latke mix that I know of comes with 2 packets of mix in the box. If you want to make roughly 40 latkes, then you would use both packets and use 2 eggs and 2 cups of cold water. We're only going to make roughly 20 latkes, so we're just going to use 1 packet and just the 1 egg and the 1 cup of water. I want to get all of it. There we go. Now, then all I got to do is blend it. Don't want any lumps in there. So that's nice and smooth, and it's already beginning to firm up a little bit. So while that sits for 5 to 10 minutes to rest, what I'll do is get the oil started in the frying pan. Now, I can't tell you exactly how much to use. I've poured out a little more than a cup of vegetable oil here. What you want is somewhere between like 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, somewhere in there in the pan. And what I'm going to do actually is reserve a little bit here because after I do the 3rd or 4th batch of these, the oil is going to cook down a little bit and I'll probably have to top it off. So that's why I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put a fairly high flame under this because I want the oil to be pretty hot. All right, so now we're just about ready to do the cooking. This is rested for, I don't know, 8 or 9 minutes, something like that. And we want to make sure the consistency is right, and it is. It's, I guess you'd say the consistency of mashed potatoes. It holds its shape, but yet, you know, it'll fall off the spoon. And the best way I know to make sure the oil is hot enough is actually to take a little dab of the batter and drop it in and see if it sizzles. That little dab is frying up, so I'm pretty sure the oil is hot enough. So take sort of a mounded tablespoon of the batter, drop it in, and then sort of move it around a little bit to thin it out a little bit. Now, given how hot that oil is, they probably are going to only need about 2 minutes per side. The thing to watch for is when they get really crusty brown around the perimeter, then it's probably time to flip them, and then they should be nice and toasty brown on the underside, and then we'll toast them on this top side. Yes, that one's a nice golden brown on the second side. What I try to do, when I can manage it, is actually try to hold it over the pan for a minute to let the excess oil drip back into the pan. There, let's see if we can. There. The batter will evaporate a little bit while it's sitting there waiting. So if you find that it's dried some, add a tablespoon or so of cold water to it and then mix it up. And I'm sort of pecking away at it with the spoon to spread it out so it's a little thinner than it is when the glob of batter hits the oil. All right, now, like I said, these that are done, I want to keep them warm in the oven until all of them are fried and ready to eat. Ah, very nice. Very nice. With the first 2 batches, actually a little bit of our oil has disappeared, so I'm going to top it off. There we go. Okay, so the second batch has drained, so I'm going to pop those in the oven. All right, all done. And what we're going to do is leave them in the warm oven until we're ready to serve them. Then you get ready to, set up your plates and what you're going to serve with them. Traditionally, we serve applesauce or sour cream on latkes. There are many variations, however, and really you can put anything you want to on top of them. You don't have to be Jewish, and it doesn't have to be Hanukkah to enjoy a plate of latkes. They're delicious in and of themselves, and not season specific or culture specific. Delicious, just delicious, and texture's perfect, nice and crunchy, done all the way through, but not overdone. Very tasty, and the toppings really enhance it. So, look, I'm really glad that you could join us today. I hope that you will take a crack at making yourself some latkes and enjoy the process. With that, I leave you with good yontif and my very best wishes.